So how does the Communist Party in China actually keep such close control over the people?
What they did is like, there are a lot of things, but the most important thing is the violence and telling the lies. Two things in the way they control people. They use violence. They kill people wantonly. It's not like, anybody is real criminal. They kill the person. They kill whoever they want to, just to show other people they are the master. They can control you anytime they want, and they use propaganda. Tell lies all the time. Whenever they want to persecute anybody, they would say, this group of people or this person has been so bad, has been doing so many bad things, and then they incite the hatred from other people. So they never persecuted the majority of people as a whole, but they always isolate a small group of people, like 5% will be the target of the persecution, and another 95% will be used to attack these 5% of the people. That trick works all the time until the persecution of Falun Gong. In the history, they always set up a 5%. If anybody who falls into this category, then he's doomed. So everybody, would do whatever they could to fall into this 95%, so they can be safe. So that repeats in history over and over again. So as a result, Chinese people have lost the trust, between each other, and they would always use a way of cheating, hurting other people to protect their own interests. So that's how they maintain the control over, Chinese people. And the Chinese people, because of this long history of all kind of persecution, political movements, people become so scared that they don't even think of standing out against the Chinese Communist Party. That is, that's the terrorism, actually. State terrorism is very typical. And there is propaganda, of course. They control all kind of medium. And right now, they have become more and more fine-tuned to how to do brainwash, how to use the bad side, because there are all kind of problems in China. Sometimes the media in China, they also report some of those bad things happen, say like some government officials corrupted. Then we arrest these government officials, then they punish him to show the gloriousness of the Communist Party because it can correct its own mistakes. Things like that, to make propagandas. So every time this kind of things happen, will give some people hope. Oh, the Communist Party is, heading toward the right direction because it's punishing those corruptive government officials. So it will be like, a good party later on. So this thing happens repeatedly again and again. Until now, the persecution of Falun Gong, it doesn't work anymore. If you look at the Chinese government and the American government, then you can see the difference, because American government only controls a small part of the wealth in this nation, because people pay tax, they can use the tax money, but the majority of the wealth is in the hands of people or those big companies, not to the governments. Of course, the governments can do some deals with the corporations, whatever they can do, but they still cannot have the absolute control on those wealth. But the difference is that the Chinese Communist Party, they controls all the resources. They can take any wealth from anybody at any time they want. So imagine if there is a war between these two countries, the Chinese Communist regime can mobilize a huge amount of resources within a very short period of time. And human lives are not like their consideration. Of course, they can use all these human beings to fight a war against America. But on the other hand, this country, they have to go through the Congress to pass this law or this bill to mobilize this and that money to do the war or whatsoever. So it's going to be a sharp contrast. And as kind of example, in Korea War, America lost 35,000 soldiers over there. And that make a big problem for the American government, because people are complaining in this country about the loss of human lives. But Chinese lost close to 1 million soldiers, and still the Communist Party still bragged about the great victory over the American imperialism. So that's the difference. The human lives in China is nothing in the eyes of the communists. So they can use 1.3 billion people as hostages to do the war whatsoever they want to do. So that is the the difference we can see.
Let us hope that that stays a difference. Some of us are concerned, Charles, that that difference is getting less and less.
Well, I think that we can work, for the things to become better. As I said, if the people quit the Communist Party, people will realize the importance of human life in China, things will change. The Communist Party will be gone.
You mentioned the possibility of a war between the United States and China. Do you think that's a possibility, a real possibility?
It is a real possibility, but I believe those people will try to make deals. Of course they want to, if they can benefit from it. But if say like things happen in China, the Communist Party sees that as the end of their days, they would do something crazy. It is possible. But let's work on that. Let that not happen. I believe the only thing is to educate people, to really realize what's the true nature of the Communist Party. So then, if people get away or stay away from the Communist Party, then it doesn't have the control and ability to make a war. So it's very, very important for the American people to understand the importance of staying away from the Communist Party. Give them less resource, give them less energy, so they won't be able to commit a war or anything like that against America. That is extremely important. You don't have to commit, you don't have to, do a war against them, but you can stay away from it, so it will become weaker and finally collapse. That's the right way to do.